Hey guys, this is Wave 618. It's the 28th of March 2013 and it's currently 20 past 1 in the afternoon GMT. Alright, so we've just got Bitcoin here. We're looking at the 4-hourly chart. As you can see, my demarcation here is a WXY. This is what I can expect from price over the next few weeks. And currently, we're obviously in wave Y, and of this wave Y, we're going to see a WXY in itself. So this is W, I'm expecting to see X, make another small high up to around here, before making its final leg down to Y. So an incredible short is about to take place, which I'm quite looking forward to. But before I dwell on exactly what's going to happen with price, I'll break this down, I'll zoom in, I'll explain why price came to this level, and we'll go into all of that. But first of all, I want to really zoom out and focus on something that changed my perspective a little bit. Not in terms of what's going to happen here, I still think we're going to come down all the way down here, but it just tells us where we are in terms of the grand scheme of things. Yeah, it tells us what wave count we're in on a much higher degree. So that's what I want to focus on today. So first of all, I just want to say thank you to one of my subscribers. So the name of the subscriber is Epazula. I'm just going to write it down just because it's not a very common name, to be honest. Epazula. So this subscriber, I want to say a big thank you to you, because you actually directed my attention towards the Mt. Gox data for Bitcoin. Now, it's not something I actually knew was available on TradingView, so I had actually neglected that data, and that's very, very significant, because as you can see, I use Bitstamp up here in the left. You can see it's the Bitstamp data that I use. Now, if we go on the daily, you can see that the data starts, let's just move this out of the way slightly. So the data starts around August 2011. But the thing is, Bitcoin did not start trading on the August 2011. It started before that. So we're actually emitting important data that will affect our wave count, determining what wave we're in at present. So that's why it's very important to have access to that Mt. Gox chart. So big thank you to Epazula, because that's allowed me to count the waves right from the genesis, and it's very interesting. I've really enjoyed studying the Mt. Gox chart, so let's divert our attentions to that. If you want to know how to find it, obviously it's the usual way to find any chart, but I never thought to scroll down and look at all the different data. So here's your Mt. Gox, that's the one you click on. So let's go on that now. Let's delete this. Alright. All these annotations. So these are, I was just quickly analysing the chart here. These, for example, 17th of July 2010, that's when it all started. These are the dates. This was when wave 1, I believe, finished. Anyway, I won't go into this now. It's not necessary. But what I want to highlight is this is where the data, okay, we need to see the dates. So here you can see July 2010 is where the data started. Bitstamp gave data from August 2011. So around here, this is where Bitstamp data started. As you can see, it misses out this spike in price here, which is significant because this is a wave in itself and it has to be included. So what I make it out to be, I make this to be a wave 1, then we've got a wave 2, a 3, a 4 and a 5. So if we're just labeling that, so from the beginning, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that'll be my wave count. Then we got to this is all a major wave 1 basically, and that's why you saw this huge crash. This was where Mt. Gox crashed in 2014. The platform no longer existed after this point, and that's why there's no more data after this date. What date is that? So we're looking at it's February 2014. Yeah, so there's no more data after that. But that's why we saw this massive crash. It was the end of the 5 waves. And yeah, this is the subwave count. So that was what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now it's very interesting to, well, first of all, before we go into each individual wave, which we will be analysing because it will give us a clue as to what will happen in current time, 2018, what we can expect. So let's just go back to Bitstamp, so BTC USD. Let's go back on our chart here. Thank you, Epizula, once again. And so this is 2014 here. This was the big crash. So the data ended around this point, yeah, on the Mt. Gox platform. Yeah, so this was our major wave 1 up until here. Just get rid of that line. Up until here, then there was a big crash, massive retracement. I'll be zooming in on this later to show you how far it retraced, because it really demonstrates what Bitcoin does in terms of retracements after a major wave up. Since then, I've counted 5 waves up to $20,000. So I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Now you can see each wave has not pulled back that much. Yeah, so wave 1's not pulled back that much. Wave 3 hasn't pulled back that much either. And then you've got 5 waves up, and that's why we're seeing a massive crash now. Now I'm going to show you how far Bitcoin usually crashes after 5 waves up, and that will explain why it's not finished crashing. Yeah, so far all we've seen is it's gone a little bit beyond the 61.8 retracement. So at this level, this is where this major wave started, finished at 20,000, came and tested the 61.8, bounced a bit, but I'm going to show you how Bitcoin always goes to minimum the 78.6 retracement and usually further. Yeah, I'll be showing you that shortly. Now, in terms of what wave we're in now, if this was a major wave 1, I was previously thinking that maybe this was all a wave 2, and then this was the end of wave 3, being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making the end of wave 3. Having said that, it doesn't really make sense, because as you can see, after each major wave in Bitcoin, you should get a massive retracement of almost to 78.6 retracement. Now, as you can see, you've only got these small retracements here. So I'm actually thinking, and a lot of you might find this hard to believe, but this is just wave 1 of wave 3. Yeah, which basically means we're in a massive wave 2. It's going to crash big time to beyond the 78.6 retracement. But I actually think this is a massive wave 2. Now, I know what you're thinking. That means if this is only wave 1 of wave 3, then we're going to see some really, astronomical figures in terms of where Bitcoin is going. And yeah, that's exactly what I believe, to be honest. I think we're going to see some huge figures. I won't put forecasts in for that in this video. And we're actually talking maybe 10 years down the line before we see the end of the actual wave 3. But yeah, I see this, rather than being just the end of a wave 3, I see it being as a wave 1 of wave 3. Reason being is, after each subwave, so whether it's a wave 1, a wave 3, or a wave 5, you get these big pullbacks. We've not seen any big pullbacks in any of these waves. So let's just go on back on the Mt. Gox, just so I can be a bit more clear. If we just zoom in, let's look at wave 1 of 1 here. Yeah, this is our wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're just going to analyze wave 1. So let's, auto is on. This is our wave 1. Now you can see it has these small pullbacks in the move up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is a huge wave up. Yeah. The subwaves are small. Yeah. You have these small pullbacks, and then it's only after you've had 5 legs up you get the massive pullback. Yeah. Now, whilst we're on this wave, let's have a look at how much it retraced. So it started here, went up to here, way beyond the 78.6. You can see initially it tested the 61.8 retracement here, bounced a bit, and then came back down. Yeah, very similar to what we're seeing in Bitcoin right now in 2018. It went past the 61.8, bounced a bit, and it's going to make its next leg down way below the 78.6. Okay, point I want to make here is look at the subwaves. They have small pullbacks, and you only see this major pullback after 5 legs up. Now let's look at the next wave. So that's wave 3 here. Again, wave 3 starts here, so you've got a move up. That's wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, just small pullbacks here, another small pullback here. We can actually look more closely at them. Let's get rid of the volume, it's just getting in the way there. So if this was the first wave, you can see this one came to the 61.8 retracement. Yeah, so not a huge pullback in terms of what Bitcoin usually does with these large pullbacks like this one here. Yeah, this one only came to the 61.8, and then this one again to the 61.8. What I'm saying is you get these relatively calm pullbacks until you see these huge spikes. Then you get a massive pullback, just like here. Again, let's zoom in. So look, we've got a move up and a pullback here, but because it's still just a subwave of a major wave, you know, it's not even reached a 0.5 here. So until you have your 5 waves up, that's when you get your massive crash. Going back to our original chart, Bitstamp. That's why I think this is just wave 1 of 3. If this was the end of 3, I'd expect wave 1, a huge retracement in wave 1, and then this subwave 3 to have a huge retracement down to here, and you'd expect it to be drawn out. There'd be a big curved out bottom before the next wave, just like on Mount Gox, the build up to Mount Gox. So just going back to the chart again, a lot of going back and forth here, sorry about that. You get a wave up, and then you get a big drawn out corrective wave. Big spike up, big drawn out corrective wave, and then another big wave up with a sudden crash. Going back to Bitstamp, we just haven't seen these big curved out bottoms after each step up, and that's why I think it's all part of wave 1 of wave 3. Big crash, and I'm expecting a curved out bottom here. Yeah, it's not going to spike straight away. It could take quite a while, to be honest. So we got to be patient, but there's going to be some amazing buying in opportunities, which are going to be more investments rather than trading opportunities. So when I say investments, I'm talking about positions that you're going to hold long term, many years, rather than buying and selling within the same day or week or anything like that. So some great investing opportunities will be arising soon, but in terms of when they will turn profitable, it could be a few years down the line, because we could expect a very curved out bottom here before it goes back up. Nonetheless, it's going to make what I foresee a life-changing profit. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, in terms of how far it's going to retrace, as I say, Bitcoin so far has only come down to this 61.8 level here. Yeah, just beyond it. It needs to come down way beyond the 78.6, even lower. As I say, this 3,000 level was my forecast. And technically speaking, if Mt. Gox was the end of wave 1, well no, this wasn't the end of wave 3. If it was the end of wave 3, then it wouldn't be able to come down lower than wave 1, which is Mt. Gox, which is at $1,100, $1,200. So if this was the end of wave 3, wave 4, if this was the end of wave 3, wave 4 would not be able to come down lower than $1,200. However, I don't think that's the case. I don't think this is the end of wave 3, in which case this can come down to wherever it wants. However, I think the 78.6 fib and just beyond that is where it's going to find some support. Yeah, I said I'd break down these other waves on Mt. Gox. So just to show you what Bitcoin does every single time it does a big retracement. So I've shown you this wave 1 of 1. You can see huge retracement, almost went back to 0. Yeah. Let's look at the next one. So this is dotted line here is the bottom of this major wave up, went up to here, again came down to the 78.6, found support, and you can see just like in present time, it hits the 61.8, bounces and then comes back down. That's why I expect price to come back down at least to the 78.6. And then the final one, this one, is better looked at on Bitstamp. So here it is right here. Okay, let's bring these figures in the picture. So again, below the 78.6. So always, whenever Bitcoin has a super spike up, big 5 waves up, then you can expect it always, absolutely always, to come down at a minimum to the 78.6 retracement. Yeah. Why should that suddenly change in 2018? I don't know. I don't know why people are bullish at this moment in time. It's definitely going to make another leg down, at least testing at a bare minimum the 78.6 retracement. So let's just have a look at what's happening at present time. So let's go on the 4-hourly. Okay, so as I mentioned, what I'm expecting is a big WXY, this being WX and this is Y. So W was an ABC pattern down, X has been a WXY up, so WXY, a connecting wave, and then Y in itself is going to be a WXY. So we've seen 3 legs down. I'm expecting this to be a corrective pattern, this X wave. Initially I was saying it was going to look like a zigzag. However, as time goes on, this trend line is getting much closer to where price is, and it's now looking like it might be a triangle before it comes down. So let's say, for example, this X wave could look like this: A, B, C, D, E before it comes down. Could turn out to be something like that. Alternatively, it could still be a zigzag. So it could turn out to be like this: A, B, C. Yeah, but I won't be going long here just because well, you could, if you really want to, if you're an intraday trader or you like these short-term trades, you could go long. However, every position that I put on for the next few weeks is going to be short. just because that's the direction of the major trend. Now let's zoom in. I'll explain why we got support at this level. So let's go on the 15-minute. So you'll notice in my last video I was saying that this was going to be an ABC. I was suggesting that A would be equal to C and would get support around the 8,000 level. So here is the level where A would have equaled C. In fact, you can see that C has reached this level where C is the 1.382 extension of wave A. Found very nice support. And there's another very good reason it found support there. If we draw a fib retracement from the bottom here to the top, bring that across, hits the 78.6 very nicely. So lots of excellent fib support there. Another reason, this horizontal line I've plotted on here now. If we go back onto, let's go on the 4-hourly. So you can see this price was tested a few times. It was tested here, it's been tested twice here, once here, here, and here. So it's acted as good support and resistance several times. It's a well-recognized value level for Bitcoin, and hence it's again showing good support. So I wouldn't be surprised if before we see our final leg down, we see another small leg up. As I say, there's lots of ways corrective patterns can happen. Let's go on the 15-minute. So I won't be trading this just because it's very messy. There's many ways it can happen, but when I see a good shorting opportunity, I'm going to take it. So as I say, it could turn out to be a bit of a triangle like this. Before it comes down. Alternatively, and I think it's probably more likely, it's made a bit of a double bottom here, which is going to get the bulls excited. So you may see it force its way up to around this level. That's a possibility, yeah. And then if it does that, let's zoom out, go on the 4-hourly. The bullish traders, what they're trying to picture here is this is all a major triangle, with this being the lower part of the triangle and this being the upper part of the triangle. And what their argument is that this is A, B, C, we're going to finish D shortly, then they're expecting E and a breakout to the upside. That's what they're expecting. So whether you're bullish or bearish, I'm expecting another leg up. That's why you could go long here if you wanted, with a very tight stop just below this point, because as soon as that breaks, it's certainly looking very bearish. Yeah, this is very wishful thinking for anyone who's bullish. This is not going to happen. Yeah, the price might move like this, but it's not going to break out to the upside. Yeah. As I say, I'm expecting these 3 legs down, which have happened, followed by these 3 legs up to here, and then I'm expecting a great short opportunity from here down to here. But yeah, we'll find out soon. When does this point reach? So that's on the 9th of April. Yeah, so we'll know before the 9th of April what's going to happen. So it's not too far away, next week or so. And yeah, exciting times to come. So we need to look out now. We need to really focus on where we can put our short position. But as I say, that was the reason why there was good support at this level. At this level here. And there are various options that can happen from here. It could come up to here, might only come up to here, forming a kind of triangle formation. We'll have to wait and see. It depends on the sentiment in the market. Either way, another way of doing it is you could wait for the breakout, wait for this line to break, and then get in. That's another way of doing it. But yeah, your risk reward is better if you try and catch it near the top and then put the short. So that's what I'll be looking out to do. So yeah, that's just a quick summary. Yeah, so I'll leave it there for now, guys, and let's see what happens. All right, take care.